Welcome back to Doug's Cars. I'm standing in front of a Guards Red 1979 911 SC that I have just been handed the keys to. This is great. I've never, ever driven one of these. As a matter of fact, I've never driven an air-cooled car at all. I don't know how that's possible, but it's the way it is. I've driven Addicted Motors 997 911, and I've driven some other Porsches, but never, ever an air-cooled 911, and certainly not one that's this beautiful. Guards Red. The owner put in this Houndstooth interior that it works so well. I mean, look at this car. It's just immaculate. It's just fantastic. So anyway, well, I don't want to take up too much time talking about the exterior of this car, because what matters is back there, and what matters is what happens when you take it on down the road. Safety first, of course, or safety third, depending on how you look at it. Let's see. I've never used bottom mounted pedals before either. Reverse. My shoes don't fit very well. Now, the owner told me to get on it and give it lots of revs. It loves lots of revs. Let's see, and he also said it's good to put it in second before going into first. Sounds amazing. I hope that you're appreciating this enough that the camera's actually picking up the sounds properly. I will say, getting around the brake pedal in the boots that I'm wearing today, I have a size 12 foot, which isn't that big really. I mean, it's big, but it's not like I'm, an NBA player or something. I'm only letting off the gas because I'm coming up to a stop sign, but hey, second gear sounds fantastic in this. Absolutely fantastic. Alrighty. Into second. And then into first. We'll go this way. Surprisingly nice to drive. Well, not surprisingly, easy to drive, I should say. But it's a 911, they're supposed to be easy to drive. These are daily drivers. Someone pulled right up in front of me, so I'm not going to be able to get my 3,000 revs. It's cool seeing the headlight pods, or whatever you call them, on the fenders, that go out in the front of the car that have the headlights in them. It's just all these experiences I've never had. I've never driven a real rear-engine car that's air-cooled. Like I said, I've driven a 997 before, which was awesome. And I drove it back to my M4 when I had that, and it was different. So the M4 felt super solid and super heavy, but even the, I don't know if heavy is the right word, because it's a heavy car, but it didn't feel heavy. The 911 felt lighter on its feet, which it should. It's a much smaller, lighter car, and this one definitely feels that way too. But of course, this is a 79, so this car is like as old as me. Oh yeah, sounds so good. Hoping I can get up here to a road where I can open this up a bit more and really just give some of the proverbial beans, because I'm in this neighborhood, where the vehicle's housed, and that's just how that stuff goes. But I think this road, yeah, this road turns out to the main drag. Excellent, 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 excellent. Now, do I want to go behind the Honda Fit? Ooh, a squeaky poo. A little squeaky poo there. Is a little recalcitrant, as he said, to go into first. Yep. Oh yeah. It's in second. There we go. Now we're in first. I'm going behind the Honda Fit, but he's way off there now. That giant rev counter in front of you is absolutely fantastic. I know why they do that. Oh. Yes, okay. I'm getting all Doug DeMuro giddy in this thing, but now I understand why people love these things. Yes. This thing is 42 years old, and look at the grin it's giving me. Oh. The guard's red twinkling in the sun. The Houndstooth interior. Oh, this thing is awesome. All right, now I gotta start saving my pennies because I gotta get one of these. Too bad they're like super expensive now. This is fantastic. I can only imagine this one doesn't have a sunroof, and actually now that I'm looking at it, it doesn't have sun visors installed at the moment. With the sunroof open, these windows down, which by the way are keep fit hand crank windows. I know most of them, at least US spec cars, were power windows by 79, I believe, but this one does have keep fit windows. It has air conditioning, of course. It's a US spec car, but it's not hooked up. But at least today it's like 75 degrees out. You don't need it. In Miami, yeah, you want to have the AC on, and the AC units in these were not very good anyway. So a lot of people upgraded to better ones, but that flat six, oh, so nice. What a fantastic drive this is. And I mean, it really is like a little go-kart, except you've got a little bit of metal around you, and it looks much better than a go-kart. I mean, I know there are people out there who think these cars are not attractive. I'm not one of them. I love the look of the 911, the original 911s, whether it's the long nose, the short nose, up through the 993s. They're just such good looking cars. Now, let me make sure I can get this in first properly and not grind the poor guy's gearbox again, although I did exactly what he said. I put it in second first and then into first. Yeah, I think we're in now. Oh man. Yeah, I'm not wearing the right shoes for this car, that is for sure. Oh, shifts so nicely. Again, once you get it into, the first gear. I'm actually finally in fourth. Doing about 3,000 revs. Yeah, I'm going 60 miles an hour. Go ahead and slow down just a skosh there, because I'm going past the school and cops in this county like to hang out there. Oh, this is so much fun to drive. Absolutely. What a blast. Yeah, he did say the brakes were a little squeakies. And then he probably needs to put new pads on, which, but it stopped. It's just making a little bit of noise. It's okay. My Land Rover does that, and that's got 2 more cylinders than this car. Huh. Oh yeah, I'm like, it's idling up high. I'll have to ask him about that when I get back. It's idling at like 1400 RPM. Now I know these need to idle a bit higher than normal cars because they're air cooled and you don't want them to overheat. You got to keep that fan up at speed, but no, I didn't realize how much I missed driving a stick shift. I sold my M4 a couple months back on Cars and Bids, and I don't have any other stick shift cars that I own, so it's only when I get to borrow a buddy's car that I get to do this. And the last stick shift that I drove was that mint brand new 2001 Dodge Ram that is now live on Cars and Bids with 16,000 miles on it, and that's a little bit different to shift than this, but wow, what a ride. That squeak squeak. All right, yeah, you can definitely feel the no power assist steering, but just a little bit more of a workout than you're used to in a modern car with power steering. But who cares? You don't need it in this because there's no weight on the front end unless you put a suitcase up there. I wonder if he'd notice if I didn't come back. Yeah, I bet he would. This thing's a blast. I imagine, just playing some nice tunes, which I can't do because I'm talking to y'all and YouTube would get very upset with me if I did that. But yeah, flooring it and getting third. That's to the floor. 3,500 revs. Absolutely all day long. It just sings. All right. Well, you've heard me gush over this driving enough, so I'm gonna go ahead and bring this back and I'll show you the interior real quick, and then we'll wrap things up. So yeah, here's the view. Of course, in the cockpit, you've got your keep fit windows here. You've got this fancy thing that controls the lock here. You've even got a little storage pocket there, and this is how you open the door. It's got these great, you know, sisal mats down here. Glove box. Does have AC, of course, you know, radio. It's got, of course, you've got vent or AC controls here, and then of course your heater and defroster controls are down here because it's air cooled and it comes from the back like VW clock. Speedo, that giant tack in the middle, of course, and then you've got the German writing Öl for oil, and oh, another Öl gauge over here for oil here, and of course the tank for tank, lights, key switches over here, and yeah. But y'all, thanks so much for coming along on this journey. It was my first drive in an air-cooled car, and it's a Guards Red Porsche 911, and I'm just grinning from ear to ear. This has been so much fun. I gotta thank Chris so much for letting me take out his pride and joy, and thanks y'all so much for coming along on this journey. I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to hit subscribe below and you know, see some more fun stuff with cars and Doug. Thanks so much for watching, y'all.